Hello you lovely people, I'm Nick and welcome to Firthy's Feedback. In this video, I'd like to talk about The Boys Season 3. So here we go. Season 3 is taking it up a notch in a way that feels almost too much at times and not nearly enough at others. In other words, The Boys Season 3 is very much The Boys and the show isn't making any apologies for it. Not that it has before. Now, whether you consider this a good thing or a bad thing might depend on your general feelings about the show, but as storytelling goes, it's as effective as it's ever been. Season 3 had to feel both like an escalation and an inflection point for these characters. Things have changed, and in the face of that, characters have to adapt. But both of these things had to feel natural to who these characters are. Butcher just turning over a new leaf with a smile wouldn't have made much sense, just as Huey turning into the new Butcher would have been a step too far, and yet, even as characters look to make the best out of their new circumstances, some things never change. The first and perhaps most important of them is how good Anthony Starr is as Homelander. The reason The Boys works is a combination of many things: good writing, a great cast, and an interesting premise. However, there are times where Homelander is on our screens, the full weight of his depravity in full display, and whilst some people thought it was too much, I loved it. The social commentary is still on point, but sometimes the delivery feels heavy-handed. Before you can even sit on that idea though, Starr takes the character and allows a moment of vulnerability to peek through the facade. Then it all clicks. Then the show absolutely works. He's not the only one that works, of course, but in Season 3 in particular, it feels like where Starr goes, the show follows. This is particularly true of Erin Moriarty's Starlight, a character that has never been as one-dimensional as her costume makes her look. She gets to shine not just playing off of Huey or Butcher, but Homelander himself. Carl Urban's Billy Butcher is another standout of Season 3 that isn't light on interesting plot points or shrewd commentary, but that shines because it allows the actors who have embodied these characters for 2 seasons to really sit with who these people are and who they can be. Growth isn't linear in real life, and it especially isn't on TV, and that makes for a very interesting story. Only, of course, when you feel like the characters are going somewhere, but that's never been an issue with this show. It isn't only the characters that get to shine, it's also some relationships. Huey and Annie have gotten a lot of screen time together, and the show continues to give them the spotlight, but it never forgets about Kimiko and Frenchie, or even Butcher and Huey. This is an ensemble show. It just so happens that some of the people in the ensemble are horrible people, which doesn't mean they aren't interesting. That's the dichotomy other shows would struggle with, but The Boys always seems to nail it. The Boys Season 3 is about a larger story as much as it is about the individual pieces. The balance is hard, and at times it feels like the show doesn't quite know how to make it all work together. Much like Homelander himself, but that was a misdirect. Every time you think the show has made a mistake and that's why you're looking right, it turns out the show actually wants you to look right. That's both refreshing and exhilarating, particularly as it comes with a few surprises. But The Boys doesn't really need twists to work. It never has. It soars on the back of outstanding performances, a tone that at times feels like a parody, and a story that casual fans would watch and say, "This is quite relevant storytelling to our lives right now." Season 3 is just more of the same, and I mean that in the best possible way. Now get off your ass and stream it.